Hi, thanks for watching. This is Hito from HITOSTAR.com. Today I'm going to be speaking about Leo new moon on July 31st and August 1st, 2019. This month in July, we just finished two big events in astrology. One was on July 2nd and 3rd, a Cancer total solar eclipse. So it was a new moon, but it's also a solar eclipse, which is a big event in astrology that can bring you a huge beginning and ending. And we also had another event on July 16th and 17th, which was a Capricorn partial lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipse is a bigger version of full moon. So we just had this huge new moon and full moon in this month of July. As I talked about this in the last video, eclipses are the biggest event in astrology that can bring you one of the biggest events in your life as well. So if you are experiencing some unusual events, breakthroughs, great news, some shocking news, that's very normal to you, because these eclipse season can bring us huge changes in our lives. I personally had many things happen in the last 2 months or so, and I'm going to talk about that at the end of this video today. Also, this Capricorn lunar eclipse was actually right at my birthday, July 17th. So it's affecting my life a lot, and I feel a big change right now. And I'm sure you are feeling a big change as well. So on July 31st and August 1st, around these 2 days, depending on where you live, we have a new moon in Leo. Leo is about love energy, heart energy, and it is also about creativity. New moon is when the sun and the moon comes together, conjunct. And this time we have another planet called Venus conjunct at the same time of the new moon. So this is about love, because the planet Venus is about love relationships in general, love energy, female energy. It's about money and beauty. So having this planet conjunct with the moon and the sun in sign of Leo, this is all about love and heart energy, loving someone, doing something you love to do. It's about creativity. The time of Leo, which is also always around this time of the year, is a great time to play outside and meet people and party. Leo is a party sign that loves to play with other people. Especially at this new moon, this conjunction of the moon, sun and Venus, this is already beautiful. But there is another planet, Uranus, which is a planet of revolution and change and new technology. So this is making an angle called 90-degree square. This can bring us some breakthroughs in our lives, especially things regarding to love and creativity and relationships. And Uranus loves to surprise us. So expect the unexpected. And this is actually fun, beautiful energy, since Venus is involved as well. Leo is a very much upbeat, creative, fun energy. It's like this life is all about play, so let's just play and have fun. So a lot of people who have planets in sign of Leo love to do something creative and something you feel like you're just playing as a kid, and that becomes extension of what you do in your life, which can be your career, which can be something you create as a business owner. So you might have some opportunities, some people you meet around this time and socialize, which is a great thing to do. go to parties, some events. If you are invited, I would highly recommend to attend those events. Uranus is also about freedom and uniqueness. Uranus is related to sign of Aquarius, and it's about being different. So if you are an artist, if you do something creative, even as a business owner, it is a time for you to move on to something new, something different, maybe using a new technology, meeting new people. If you've been feeling like you've been doing the same thing over and over, it is a great time for you to think out of the box and do something different that can make you feel younger and that can bring different side of yourself. Another side of sign of Leo is about leadership. It's about confidence. So if you feel like you've been lacking confidence in whatever you do in this life, it is a great time for you to make some intentions regarding to leadership, confidence. Especially to perform in front of people, maybe to make a speech in front of people, since sign of Leo is about shining your light and being able to express yourself. It's about heart energy. So if you think about people who perform as a dancer, as an actor, they tend to have their heart open when they walk on a stage, when they present themselves. So that's the way how Leo works. And at this new moon, we all have this opportunity to grow this side of ourselves, to have more confidence and to be able to express yourself, to have your full expression of yourself in this life. There's another important event happening at this new moon, which is Mercury. This planet Mercury went backwards, retrograde in sign of Leo and Cancer this month in July. So it started from July 6th and 7th, we had Mercury's retrograde time. Now this planet is going forward on August 2nd. Whatever the things you experience in this month of July, things to do with miscommunications, misunderstandings, transportations, some delays, that can be solved around this new moon, which is a great news. At the same time, this Mercury will be opposed 180 degrees from Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn. There might be some important conversations, some realizations, some understandings that happens around this time, especially because it's opposed by Saturn and Pluto, which can be a lot of work or some efforts that you need to put in, but eventually those things can be a great result, great solutions, great success. Whatever you experience in this month of July that you felt like it's delayed, it's not going as fast as you think, that can be moving forward around this new moon. I personally love having Mercury going forward because in my natal chart, Mercury is very important, and when this planet is going backwards, my life is kind of going backwards, and I always have some challenges, but I know these challenges are happening for reasons. This is the interesting thing in astrology. Whatever that occurs in my life has some meanings, and in a bigger view, there are things that I need to learn right now and need to solve. So in this Mercury's retrograde time, I did learn a lot of things and looked into the details. And another side of Mercury's retrograde is you tend to meet people from the past. So you might have had some conversations, literally running into them on the street or hearing them from social medias in this month of July. Since we also had 2 big eclipses, that might be some big change in your life. Not only just talking to them, it might be regarding to some big change in your life. It could be something from your karma, something from past events that you experienced that now you are finding some meanings, some resolutions. So this Mercury's retrograde is finishing at the place called 24 degree of Cancer. So it's at the end of sign of Cancer, and now it's going forward from there, going into sign of Leo. But this number of 24 degree, we have measurements in astrology, and we have 0 to 30 degrees in one sign. And this Mercury's retrograde is going forward at 24. And this is actually a repeating number recently in astrology for big events that's been happening. For example, we just had this Capricorn solar eclipse, which happened on July 16th, 17th. That was also at 24 degree of Capricorn. And also in 2020, we have a big event awaiting for us, which is Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter conjuncting in sign of Capricorn, and that will be also at 24 degree of Capricorn. So when these numbers repeats with huge events in astrology, there's a huge focus on the same theme that happens, and especially when you have some planets on 24 degree of these 4 signs that are called cardinal signs, which are Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. You are the ones who get the most effects because all the planets changes are happening for everyone, but when you have some planets, particularly at these points, you can be most affected. And as a matter of fact, I am actually one of them. So I'm experiencing some major changes in my life, and I already knew about this since maybe 4 years ago, because that's when I started to really look into that in my chart. So the question would be, what does it mean to me? What do I do with this, right? So for you, the most important thing is to look into what you really love, look into what's really true for you. Even if you are going through some problems, some hard times with relationships, career, some big changes in your life, the truth is in yourself, and all these events that happens around you is trying to tell you something. So look into the signs, whatever you receive, that can be external or internal. So whatever you receive inside of yourself, especially when it repeats, that's a sign. The universe gives you little sign first, and that you feel like something is wrong, or oh, this must be something. But then maybe you ignore it for the first time, but then second time something comes again, then oh, I thought about this again, or someone told me about this again, maybe I should listen to it this time. So then if you don't listen to it, then boom, something big happens until you really fully realize. So I'm sure you have experienced something similar, but that's how things work in astrology as well. And interestingly, things do repeat, and you are here to catch those signs to look into which direction is the right way for you. And most importantly, connect to yourself, because you are the one who knows the answers, and meditations or any kind of activities that make you feel relaxed, make you feel happy. Those are the things that really can tell you, that can lead you to catch those signs. We have few more events around this new moon. On August 7th, we have the Sun and Jupiter trine 120 degree, which is supposed to be one of the most luckiest day of the year. And Sun is about your soul mission, career in this life, theme of your life, and the Jupiter is about lucky expansion in your life. So having these two in a harmonized angle, this can bring you some luck, this can bring you some expansions, some great news, some optimistic opportunities. So look forward to that. And we have another event regarding to Jupiter. So Jupiter in Sagittarius right now is going backwards, retrograde, and now this planet is going forward. This is happening on August 11th, and interesting thing is, at the same time this Jupiter going forward, we have another planet, Uranus, going backwards, and it just falls into the same day for some reason. So that means around around August 11th, we can have some big events happening regarding to your expansion in your life, luck in your life, success in your life. And when a planet either goes backwards or forward, the symbolism of the planet is magnified. So at this time, the symbolism of Jupiter and Uranus, these two are both magnified, which is about new life, expansion, and looking into a different horizon in your life. Could be about traveling, because Jupiter in Sagittarius is about legal matters and literally traveling to other countries. Uranus tends to bring us some change and a revolutionary energy. So you might receive some news, some big change around this time. Thanks so much for watching again. I wanted to share what has been happening in my life lately, especially around this eclipse season. There are many things happening to everyone, but also to me personally. I think especially because these two eclipses just happened, was hitting my Mars and the Sun and the Moon in my chart. And when eclipses or regular new moon or full moon lands on your planets in the signs you have, the effects are much bigger than other people. So I have 5 big events that happened around this time. The first one was I had a rat in my room. As many people know, I just moved to Midtown Manhattan, close to Times Square, Hell's Kitchen. So it's a very busy area. Although my block is very calm and peaceful with trees and everything, it is an area with a lot of restaurants and bars. So considering the building is pretty old everywhere in New York, my building is also not that new. One day I saw this rat in my room going into the trash, and of course I freaked out because I've never seen a rat in my room. If you live or if you visited in New York City, you know you see a rat running around in a subway. That's actually a common thing to witness, but I've never had that in my room. So that's one thing that happened. And I had to stay at my friend's place in the Bronx just for that day because I just couldn't deal with the whole situation at the house. And my friends were threatening that the rat is gonna eat me or eat my bed or whatever it is. So until I had a full extermination, I couldn't live at my place. And at the same day the rat thing happened, there was a fire in my block. In a restaurant, they were doing a renovation, and my place is just few houses away. So as I was moving to the Bronx, there was this fire going on with this fire truck and all the cars coming in, and that was like a big scene. And another event was I left my key inside of my house one day, and I locked myself out, but it was actually around 4 a.m. in the morning, because I went out for dancing with my friends, and when I came back at 4 a.m. I realized I left my key inside, which I never do that, especially around that time. So that day I had to stay at a diner for a while, and I had to just stay in the city until I was able to be in contact with someone in the house, and I finally got in. But the weirdest thing was on the same day after I got into the house and rested, I left my key again in the house, and I locked out myself again on the same day, which I never do in my life. I've never done that. So that was right before the Mercury's retrograde, the exact day of Mercury's retrograde. And after that, the fourth event was on the same day of Mercury's retrograde, I lost my phone. So this is something I don't usually do either, and I knew Mercury was retrograde and I was being very careful, but I just basically dropped my phone on the street when I went to beach, and I just didn't have it after all, and I was able to track the phone, but it just looks like it just disappeared on the street. I'm not sure if someone took it or it's just gone somewhere on the street. But I went back to the same spot on the next day, but it wasn't there, and I just had to get a new phone. It took me a good couple of days for some reason, and there were many things that I had to go through with the phone company, and so basically I didn't have a phone for about a week, which is a very unusual situation. And around the last day of not having a phone, we had a blackout in Manhattan, New York. So of course my building had a blackout too, and at the same time not having a phone, this blackout happened, and the whole Times Square had lights shut down, and it was such an unusual time that I had to just kind of give up everything and take a nap. So I took a nap that day. But so this whole thing happened in the last couple of weeks, really, about a month, and everything just kind of resumed finally this week, which is great because it's my birthday. My birthday was on July 17th, and I finally got my new phone right around my birthday. So it kind of makes sense with my natal chart, but of course you never know until it happens. So I'm just sharing how many things just happened just for me in the last 1 month or so, and I'm sure if I listen to everyone's stories, there are all unique stories that just happened, and yeah, the eclipses really bring us some interesting situations and changes and some roller coaster kind of change. So if you are going through something, you're not the only one. And of course, I have some great news coming up as well, and I am happy to share that with you in the next videos. So I wanted to talk a little bit about self-expressions because I get this question all the time from my clients. Since I am a performing artist, people who watch this YouTube video tend to be some kind of artists or healers, business owners who have their things to present. And I get these questions all the time. How can you be so confident? How can I present myself, shine myself in this world? And I need some more push in this world. So that's something I've overcome a lot in my life, especially when I was younger. I was much more shy. I had these two sides always going on. That one side of me is very shy, very much want to be hiding and too sensitive almost. But then the other side, I would love to perform, I would love to shine myself and say whatever I want to say to this world. So I always had this conflict in myself. Since I performed a lot in New York City, the center of entertainment and music, theater, and dance, I overcome little by little. What I can say is, even if other people think you are too much, if you are full of yourself, it actually doesn't matter because you are only in your world. And if you are not shining, if you are not fully expressing yourself, you are not able to help others. You are not able to make others shine. So that's how I think. And of course, I went through all different phases in my life and came to this point that I am not afraid of shining myself. I am not afraid of putting myself on YouTube and talk about my life, which is a lot to do in a way. Like in my past, I probably didn't think about that at all. But now I'm able to because I overcome myself. For example, when I was younger, I would put something, a picture of myself on a social media like Facebook, and I would literally take it down right away because I did not like the picture, or I just thought too much of what other people think. And I kept doing that, which is not good for you because you being yourself is the most beautiful gift and the most comfortable expression in this world. And only by being able to do that, you can help others. You can be the inspiration of others. And if you are watching my video and listening to my stories, I'm sure you have something in common that you might feel the same way. And if you do, I'm very happy. That's why I would like to help you with that, because I was not able to do that in my past. So yes, keep your cup full, please. You are the only one that's important in this life, and you don't have to be singing or dancing, doing astrology. Whatever you do, you are the most important, and the universe is all supporting you in the most beautiful way. Even though the time you don't feel like that way, it always is. And you can only do that by fulfilling yourself, filling your cup full. Even if other people say, oh, she's so full of herself. You are you, and you're the only one who can help yourself, who can express yourself. So that's the message I have regarding to expressions of yourself. And I do astrology sessions online. Please go to my website, hitostar.com, and you can purchase and book your sessions from there. Thank you so much for watching again. This is Hito from hitostar.com. If you like my video, please do subscribe and comment, like this video. I have 2 different websites and Instagrams. You can go to hitostar.com for my astrology work, and you can go to hitominozawa.com for my artist work. I am wishing you a beautiful new moon in Leo. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.